Yeah.
What up, dope?
Yo, shout out to the Heartstoppers, man.
Yes.
That intro's crazy.
Yeah,
we needed that.
Yeah,
we needed that.
We've been looking for that for mad long.
Yeah.
We usually start off with like when we have a guest on with their music, but we have our intro now, so that's we would have started off with your music.
Yeah, I'm not a rapper, but
well, I mean,
we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
We definitely will get into that.
yeah.
But who do we have, man? Let's introduce our guest, man.
Wait, before we get into
Oh, all right, yeah. Alex, bring the shits.
Let's start with the shits first. So, I'm kind of disappointed in you right now, Bub.
Who?
David came with the energy. Friday, yo, I'm ready for these shirts. So I'm thinking, yo, I'm gonna walk in. Bub's gonna have the shirts ready. We're gonna have grown paid shirts. Nothing, huh?
Oh, it's Bub's fault.
Who else is it?
What up, team?
Oh, we are.
Wow. Calvin said I'm ready to go Saturday.
He did.
Yeah.
I was ready though.
He was ready. I'm saying that.
I didn't hear from him Saturday.
Cause I was ready.
He gave you the energy.
Yeah,
you said you felt the energy.
That in the air. Nobody caught it and returned my text.
I did.
I think I did too, didn't I? I thumbs upped it.
I didn't say let's go, but
yeah.
No, I think I said I had a haircut appointment. I don't know.
Nah. You said there was somewhere on Broad Street. And I was like, all right, let's go to Broad Street.
I ain't betting with you no more anyway.
I'm glad you just brought that up. What happened?
Huh?
Did we figure out who won that bet?
Cabo won. You drive a foreign.
I do drive a foreign.
Yeah.
I was gonna get into that eventually.
Yo, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
Nah, he does though.
Why?
Technically, he does drive a foreign.
Yeah, he does.
It's a foreign.
What's wrong?
It's a Nissan Maxima.
It's a foreign.
It's a foreign.
Yo, what did you? Don't say the name. Why are you saying the name? You're ruining it. Don't say the name.
Because you drive a foreign. My bad.
Yeah, just say foreign. Just say foreign. Leave it at that.
That's true.
I was gonna ask, yo, do y'all want to start like our podcast with a over the table handshake like Max Kellerman and Corny A. Smith?
No.
I don't know who they are, and I'm gonna say
Stephen A. Smith.
He's a cornball. I just want to.
Corny A. Smith. Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
Former boxer, now analyst.
He used to box.
I gotta watch TV again.
Never knew that.
And he had a rap video.
I didn't know. Well, I knew he had a rap video. I didn't know he boxed.
But he was a boxer.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
that's news to me.
Both short careers.
Yo, I can tell.
Yeah.
That's probably another reason why we shouldn't do that.
All right, well, Bob, introduce our guest.
We got to me, a legend here.
Word.
Danny Sykes, the Smooth Sykes. I probably met Sykes when I was like 8.
Yeah, about that.
Smithfield Ave. Probably one of the best basketball leagues in Rhode Island. Danny in his All-American days. Seen him coming down the middle, dunking.
You're a man of all traits, from what I was told.
Word.
Many traits.
Yeah, I didn't know how to describe
Successful
it.
traits.
I was just listening. I was just listing things. But, yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I guess my first question to you is, I need somebody to hate with me. Do you hate these new young rappers?
Oh, you're just getting right into it.
I do not.
Okay.
Damn it, Alex.
Damn.
I do not. And my reason that I don't is because I think a lot of people from my generation, or even a little younger than me, they kind of condemn things they don't understand. I don't necessarily understand it, but I do know the protocols changed.
Absolutely.
You know, especially in terms of how you get on and how you get to the money. Like, in my day, it was all about the labels. The independent thing, maybe like 3% of the people would be successful doing that, you know?
Yeah.
But now, for a person to be able to create music in their house and then from that same laptop and microphone and maybe in their living room, they can upload it and get bookings from that. It's incredible. Like they just changed the wave. Now, in terms of the quality of music, probably ain't the greatest. But I refuse to.
But I'm sure that we heard that in our generation, because I think we're around the same age where, you know,
Man.
Well,
nah.
I mean, I believe then.
Got him, Alex.
I believe then, like, the artists back in the day were more developed.
True.
Like, you really, like, you know, it was more of a competition thing.
Yeah.
Like, from my era, it was more of, like, when music was, I would say, rebellious. Slick Rick didn't want to sound like LL. LL didn't want to sound like Run DMC. Run DMC didn't want to sound like Public Enemy.
It was a competitiveness.
Yeah, and it was. And it was the thing of everybody having their own image at that time. Because, when at that time when biting was a crime, like you were getting laughed at it. Like, yo, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that for me, when I really started seeing people thinking biting was cool was when DOS Effects came out. So that was like 92.
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone started the Iggity Wiggity. Then they even moved on from that, you know? So it just, I don't know. I just believe that the music before was a little more seasoned because it wasn't as easy to make, you know? You had to actually go in the studio when you're doing all that. You're putting a lot of time into everything. And there's some guys still do the studio today, but I just think that that's what we're missing today in music. People not developed. And when you're not developed, that means that your media training is off. So they don't understand. A lot of the times the kids don't understand that you're selling an image, like you're selling a complete package, than opposed to just trying to sell a record or whatever that song you just uploaded. Like just like they don't know how to sell themselves as much as I believe a lot of.
You don't think they do?
Guys, I really don't, because and the interviews are real boring.
But do you think that's because there's no reason to sell yourself like that anymore? Like I could sell myself in a matter of, depending on who follows me, in a matter of views, right? Or in a matter of likes. I can advertise something about myself.
And that might be something that maybe I'm a little ignorant to. I don't understand that totally, you know? Maybe because I think of the successful artists because people want to buy into you. Not just into just a song or two. They want to buy into you. They want to know who you are a little more. So social media is one thing, but I believe when you actually going up to do radio, and now you're going up before millions of people, and you can't talk, and it's just like they ask you a question, you answer the question. Ask you another question. Now the person's like running out of questions. Like they don't build on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, no elaboration to the
none,
response.
None.
Right.
So, but then again, like everything has changed. You know, everything's changed so much in hip hop. You know, and I'm always gonna say like I remember when Nas was saying hip hop was dead. I think I was one of the people that got what he was trying to say. I think he meant like creativity and lyricism was dead because everyone just started thinking it was cool just to do what everybody else was doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Go through that because you mentioned something very important and I've been through that, but on a smaller scale. You rapped in your career, right? So go through that versus the kid that's definitely going in and making an album or two or mixtape or two, whatever that constitutes now, in his bedroom versus the process that you probably had to take on while you were making music.
Okay, well, when I did music, it was late 80s, early 90s. And I was one of the guys that visioned myself being on a major record label or something like that. But because at the time I had the finances, I pressed my own record. DJ Buck had produced this record called Dropping Smooth Lyrics. It was actually a maxi single with 3 songs on there. And then Dropping Smooth Lyrics started to take off on its own. Like, I'm talking, this is all vinyl. This is no CDs, this is no cassettes. Wow. And when it started, a life of its own, I kind of was like, it was moving faster than I was. And I never really took music that serious, I was doing other things. I was in the street. Like he said earlier, I was coming home from college, playing ball. I'm a former All-American. I also made All-State, All-City, All-Division from Mount Pleasant High School, public school.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, man.
So I started doing all this music stuff while I was in school, coming home for the summer thinking I'm going back to school. But, then, things happened. My life went in a different direction. But back to what I was saying in terms of the music, like, I think I was ahead of the curve when it came to knowing my worth. So promoters always came to me talking about, like, yo, I want to put you on the flyer. I want you to do this show. And at first I was cool. I open up Naughty by Nature. I open up for all these groups. But then I started realizing people telling me, yo, I came to see you. Oh, okay. So now the same promoters came to me one time. I said, nah, y'all going to give me $500. And they were like, nah, man, but we're exposed. Listen, I'm already going to bring 200 people. $20 I can add. I know what that is. You know what I mean? So that's where it started.
Yep.
So now I started getting paid for gigs, and then every time I sold out of records, I go back and press some more up. But to me, it wasn't really about the money. It was just more about, I just love to rap, and just that competitive spirit that we all had, guys that was, from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then I was a guy that happened to do shows out of town and stuff like that, But it was a great experience,
I would say that would have to be different. Like the route you went was different than a lot of other people because during that time people were chasing labels.
Yes.
And then, because that for them determined success. If I'm on a label.
Well, there was no alternate way at that time either, right?
He just showed us one.
Yeah, there was.
All right.
There was.
True.
I mean, I would
have never known that.
Not me either. And so people were chasing those label deals and then getting caught up in other deals while they're on it, right? So like all that marketing promotion outside of the label deal, getting caught up in those 360 deals. Do you know any artists personally that was caught up?
No, there wasn't no 360 deals then. The 360 deals is something new.
Okay.
Because music wasn't selling.
Yeah.
So they said, which I think 360s are unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair for someone to get a percentage off of stuff that they don't bring to the table. And sometimes like things that have to do with corporate sponsorships, the labels don't even have a department, don't know nothing about it. Yeah. So meaning like if I'm the artist and I broker this deal, they're automatically getting a part of it, a percentage off of it, and they brought nothing to the table.
That's crazy.
I mean, in terms of whatever it took for us to solidify that situation. Mm-hmm. So the 360 back in the day, they were signing you to development deals. Also, they was signing you to single deals, and sometimes 2 single deals. And then once there's enough buzz generated around that record or good response, then they would give you an album deal. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. The protocol changes every. It's almost like yearly. See, back in the day, they used to have all the seminars, the Jack the Rapper, the Gavin reports, How to Be Down, Miami, all that stuff. Now, the main reason that they had those things were, in my opinion, was because music was going so fast. So today you could be doing a podcast. Next week, next 3 months, now you could be head of the Black division at Jive. So they have all the seminars to bring everybody in so everybody can transfer information amongst each other, network, to see what we need to do to take the music to the next level, because everybody moves positions. Yeah. So they had to have that every year. Then when music stopped selling, no one could afford to do it anymore. Because I remember going to the seminars and I knew people from labels and I know they had that credit card, they swipe everything. So we eat, drink, clubs, everything is on the label. We used to do that all the time. But then, they everything, everything's about economics. There was a time that music just wasn't selling anymore. And now like the best thing that could have ever happened was whoever created the digital platform. But with the digital platform also means that anyone could do it.
Yeah.
You know, anyone can do it.
Yep.
But what anyone can't do is just get on radio, on commercial radio. That's not. So they still, you know, that's still.
Is that still what people want to do? I don't think people still want to get on the radio, right?
I think a lot of people do.
Okay.
I do. I think so. I mean, I don't think that you have to because of the internet.
Right.
But you think of it like this: if you got a big enough buzz on the internet, the radio now has to play the record.
Like, look at Cardi B.
Well, yeah, you say Cardi B, but Cardi B also got the Atlantic Records behind her.
True.
She does have a
She has a major conglomerate behind her.
Definitely has a powerhouse behind her.
She didn't at first, but she did, and then the success of the television show, you know, it worked for her. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you just bring her up. I happened to be clicked on one of your YouTube link that you have in your bio, and there was a girl, Jada Christine. Is that her name?
Jahida Christine.
Jahida Christine.
Yeah.
And she mentioned, and I don't know why it struck me, but she mentioned about she was sitting next to her songwriter.
Yeah.
And it for some reason it baffled me. It said, you just admitted that you're not writing your own songs.
And most R&B artists don't though.
But why is that? I'm still amazed as to why that is.
Well, we talked about that when Cam was on here.
Yeah,
That's not the oddity though. Like,
But-
rap is the oddity.
but why is it just that we stick to rap and not R&B as well? Why is it that R&B artists can get away with it, but rappers can't?
In my opinion, I think because rap is more bravado, more battle. Like, was always based on competition. I don't think R&B was based on competition.
Yeah.
Could have been, but I think that it was always to say, like, who's the best MC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, like mic controller or, a person that can control the crowd the best. So you kind of, at that point, in order for you to say that you're the best at something, we would think that you would have to write it.
Right. Agreed.
So now that you no longer have to be the best at something, now that it seems like you just have to oversaturate for a couple of weeks, days, months, whatever the case may be, and that 15 minutes of fame, man, that's all I really want. And if I could have that 2-3 times, cool. Right? Is that maybe the reason why there's so much oversaturation and so much
I think you hit it right.
music,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
nobody's really trying to be the top at anything. Everybody's just trying to go viral for
Like,
right now.
Nobody says, there's a few, but like nobody says I'm the best. And then if they do, I mean, I don't think they do in the new age of music. You got
Go viral.
you got guys, obviously, you know, but these are top notch MCs in my book, like Kendrick, Cole,
Yeah.
Drake, right? But like these other rappers are like, I don't want to be the best. I want to get the most money.
Mhm.
I want to get the most views. I want to get the most attention. So they're not really seeking my pockets. If I got money in my pockets, I'm cool with the rest of it. And I think, to go back to what you were saying earlier, Nas did a lecture with Michael Eric Dyson, and he was like, I like the fact that the new music today, quote unquote, is employing a lot of young men of color.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I like that fact.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I would like to see some more content
Yeah.
in the music.
For them to challenge themselves,
Yeah.
I see that. Now, something that you just said about, well, play this. The music, I think the shelf life of a hit record right now is probably a month. And I might be stretching it because I don't really go to the club like that, but I know, because I speak to a lot of DJs, I deal with a lot of them. They'll say, like, a song that was hitting 2 weeks ago, play that song now.
There's another artist.
There's another artist out.
My son is like, I go in his room and I'm like,
Crazy.
who is this? Oh, you don't know who this is? No.
Yeah.
Because you just told me about somebody else last week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
that was lit.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, who is this new guy?
And that's the thing with the internet. The internet is a gift and a curse.
Yes. Agreed.
Gift? Oh man, we can go right on our phones and get access to something crazy right away. But also,
Now everybody can do it.
and because everyone can do it, of the 100 records, we might only like 2. So now we got guys that can't even stay on beat, right? And we have to sift through that.
Radio play.
But he just, and the kids,
Right?
the young kids today were like, yo, he went off on that beat. what did he just say? Like my cousin, he's 18, and so we was talking. This was New Year's Eve. I was giving him my album of the year, right? I said Nipsey, right? He looked at me like, who?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who Nipsey Hussle is? So now, a week later, he starts sending me songs from Nipsey's album, Victory Lap. He's like, this is album of the year? And I was like, I got to understand where he's at. Like, I'm not gonna.
That's why I said what I said earlier is, don't you think that in our generation, the older generation was thinking the same thing about the music that we were listening to? And so as we're getting older, we're going to say the same thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, yes. I mean, actually, yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Not all music, though. There was certain music, there
I
were
agree with
certain
that.
artists that kind of like went cross generations.
Do we see any artists doing that now?
No. Like, I'm an Eric B. and Rakim fan. I'm a Big Daddy Kane fan. I'm a Slick Rick fan. Like, yeah, I mean, so that.
No. We see artists. Jay-Z is kind of crossing generations, no?
He is, but like, not. I'm talking about as far as just like Kane, Rakim, and all those guys still had an era from, late 80s into the 90s. Jay-Z does, but I don't know if he appeals to every young kid.
Okay.
Like, I don't hear no young boys like, yo,
Yep.
I just listened to that 444.
Yep.
That was trash to a lot of young people.
Yep.
Facts.
And old people.
Not to me.
Not to me either.
Not to me.
It's in the deck right now, actually.
I enjoyed it.
And I'd say
Glad y'all enjoyed it.
I gave.
Calvin, I didn't like your straight face. when you said that.
It wasn't trash. It wasn't trash. I shouldn't say that.
Nah, but when you say Nipsey album of the year, I gave it to Nipsey, but I thought Jim Jones was a close second.
Ooh.
Jim Jones was
Okay.
good.
Ooh.
That was a good album. That was a good album.
Great
That was a
album.
Great album.
Great album. Like
It
that's.
Ooh.
I think that hands down was Jim's best work.
I agree.
Hands down, his best work. And that
I
song,
agree. Good choice.
like somebody really, if somebody really dissected that song Adidas and really listened to what he's saying, like how he's spitting, the whole flow is so different. Yo, Capo got 10 times better than everyone. You know what I'm saying? Than in Dipset.
I can agree.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, no, I can.
All right, now I got to go back to Adidas.
But
I got to
felt
go
like
back to
even,
Adidas.
I felt like even back in the early 2000s, I felt like he was on his way. Like his whole swag was just different, and so he appealed. Like that's what brought me in. Like, oh, and he was admitting that I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what happens, right? We always root for the underdog. Him, 50. There's so many different people. French Montana.
Yeah.
All these guys that we always thought that wouldn't. A lot of people thought wouldn't be that dude. They somehow, some way, they found their way because we kind of like, yo, we seen like there's something about a certain hunger that an underdog has.
Yeah.
You know, and Hov was the underdog at one point. You feel me?
He was.
And it's just like a lot of people that was the underdogs, man. It's just different guys that came out to me that I didn't like. Take someone like Nelly. I didn't see Nelly's grind. I just know at the time I lived in Atlanta, and I remember that Country Grammar dropped, and everyone was going crazy. Then I seen the video. I was like, "Who is this dude, man?" You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, it was kind of like, "Yo." Then by the time he did Sweatsuit, the double album, one with Sweat and one with Suit, I was like, "Yo, this dude Nelly's alright."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too is like for me, I seen a lot of artists on their come up. I'm gonna say pause on here, do I?
Nah.
You could if you want, but
I
no.
Yeah,
don't
if you want
like
to.
We
that,
say it, but whatever.
All right, cool. I don't want maybe people start laughing.
Yeah.
And like, but
Ew, that's nasty.
so I remember when I lived in Atlanta, there's a spot called damn, I forgot the name of the strip club. Damn it, man. But anyway, Tuesday nights they had Industry Tuesdays. We used to be in there with a couple of my friends. And I used to see these dudes come in every Tuesday to the point that I was like, oh, here comes these dudes again, man. Because what happens is you come in and you bring your music and you tip the girls, they'll play it. So these dudes was wearing Corporate Thugs Entertainment jackets all winter. So that's how I got, they used to call this dude, the main dude that used to rap, his name was Jay, which we know now is Jeezy. So I used to hear this music every week and say like, yo, man, damn, man, I can't listen. I said, and me and my man, I said, you're going to do Jay again, man. I see him in the DJ booth, hyping his song. He played it, then the song dropped, be trash. And then he ended up finding his pocket, man. So 04, 03, 04 was when all the city was talking about was Jeezy and Gucci Mane. When he had the So Icy record out, man, that's all the city talked about. Then previous to that, I remember listening to the radio station was Hot Something. I was thinking Hot 107.9 now. I forgot what it was. It was Hot Something. And Lala, Anthony, and Ludacris had a show called Future Flavors. I used to listen to him all the time. And Ludacris used to always play promos. And then he dropped that What's Your Fantasy? Now he got a career.
Yeah.
You know, then I'm seeing T.I. in the strip club. That's when T.I. came out with I'm Serious and Archie Eversole. And I seen a lot of these dudes like on their way. And it was kind of like, yo, man. And, you know, I was always involved in music, but it was like the artists I was dealing with. We did Up North music, but we both live in Atlanta. But it was good to see. And one thing that I can't say is that people in Atlanta get behind anything that's coming from Atlanta, even if it's not all that good. And because you start to hear it so much, because everything that it's so true when they say the music starts at the strip clubs. That's real in Atlanta. You know, and I also seen the BMF stuff too.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that you guys hear, you would have to see. I seen it. Like, I don't know Meech personally, but we've been in the same places, said what's up to each other and whatever it may be. But like the Giraffe in the Club, I was there. It was real. Yes, Giraffe in the Club.
Like the animal giraffe?
There's a club called Compound that has a retractable roof. And for his birthday, they had a giraffe, and the giraffe's head was way up in the air.
What the fuck? Yeah. These dudes. All right.
So
If you got it.
yeah. I mean, you know what happened too is like, see, the thing is like,
Would you get a giraffe? for right
you
now,
had
for
it,
December,
you
for
had
December.
If I had it, no.
December.
Why?
Because why not?
Because
Because the roof is retractable.
Hey, Kaba, I need a giraffe, dog.
Yeah.
yeah,
December.
go get
listen,
that.
man, I ain't mad at you for
If you can get a giraffe for December.
yeah. That's when Atlanta was lit.
Add an elephant too. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Bang.
All right, well,
Damn.
So bottom line is, yeah, I was there I seen a lot of these artists come up in Atlanta, and I wish that could have happened here.
so you seen a lot of support, like Atlanta supports Atlanta.
Yes, Atlanta supports Atlanta. You know, Jermaine Dupri used to do a night on, I think, Thursdays at this club called Plush that he would DJ at. All he was playing was all of these Atlanta records. So I'm sitting there listening. I'm just like, yo. And it's just hot. Like, you know what I mean? It's like.
That's crazy.
Do you think it's
That's
because
crazy.
of like bigger markets? There's a bigger market down in Atlanta, or is it that people don't think that being from either Rhode Island specifically, that we're not considered a state that does music, right? Like culture.
I think it's both of what you just said. I think the main thing is they get behind everything because they are a bigger market.
Mm.
Atlanta's not as big as people think that it is, to be honest. I know that for a fact, you know. And the thing too is that the quality of music, like early 2000s, like you could say when Outkast first came out, but really like 99, early 2000s is when the shift, everything started moving out of New York, and it went right straight to the A.
Mm.
You think of it this way too. Everyone had their turn. Remember, Houston had their wave.
Yep.
And you know, unfortunately, like Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, they never came this way. Everyone had their Compton. All you needed to do was be from Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
At one point, you know, you was being able to get a situation. New Orleans had a wave.
Yeah.
There's so
Big
Yeah,
wave.
that's true.
Chicago recently.
Yeah.
Had a wave.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened. See, but now with the internet, they don't care. Nobody cares where you're from.
Nah.
So it's
What's
great.
funny?
I mean, I always ask
but
what.
people thought because of this new wave of music, thought A Boogie was from Chicago and part of that wave. He's from New York.
Yep.
So like to your point, like people are just like, don't care where you're from.
No, nobody cares.
But I've been around certain circles of individuals here in Rhode Island in Massachusetts that are making some good music. Like there's good music here. I think it's just there's that Cam Hill, all those guys. They're around a bunch of people who support each other.
Yeah.
But then there's this outside circle that's just like, I don't fuck with local artists. And I had said something about just I think looking at it from that perspective as a local artist, I think that holds you back from saying I want to listen to his music because you're local. Like you're right from here, and we don't have this culture. We've never had this big culture of a music scene here for artists that were from here. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't allow me to want to support you. As fucked up as it sounds.
Shame on you for considering yourself local.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point in time, like how serious are you about your craft? Think of it that way. Like if you're serious about your craft, and once you're able to have something on Tidal, on any streaming service or music for sale, how are you still local? You're still considered like you're not. Yeah. Is local mentality at that point?
That's a good point.
No, it is.
I mean, you know what? I've had for a long time. I think I've had a solution, a possible solution, and I think it starts with someone that's reputable to have some type of networking party here. We have an industry.
Yeah.
I don't think we have an industry big enough to where we can, have awards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that if we had a networking party and we brought someone like we brought, not because he's here, but hotandiri.com, that's the people for that's the person for the magazine.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
And then we bring a photographer.
Shouts.
Then we bring a few DJs, and then we bring a few promoters. We bring a music director. We bring a program director,
producers,
owners of the clubs. Yeah. One or two of everything, and put everybody in the room and make sure before everybody gets there, everybody knows in advance. Bring your cards, right? Everybody bring one song. Whatever your best song is, we make sure that whatever place that we have, we play that record, right? The thing is, I think that people don't know what each other does.
Crazy thing is that I had the same conversation with somebody talking about the same exact thing.
What, Chip Douglas?
Nope.
Okay. Because I had to talk with Chip.
Oh.
All right. I was saying, Chip didn't recycle something.
I literally had the same conversation about, trying to connect. So this leads me into, J. Cole calling himself the other song Middle Child, right? He feels like he's to bridge the gap between the old kind of in the new wave. And so that's how this conversation sparked, was about what about the older generation of guys that were doing music that was part of the hip hop scene.
Yep.
Guys like yourself, guys like my cousin Big Lig, like all those guys that were popping. And kind of now not so much around in the scene, not yourself because you're still involved, but like other people that are not around, and then you got this gap, and then you got this new age of rappers, and nobody's guiding them. Nobody's like, it's almost like how you said their music's trash. It's almost
I was joking about that. But go ahead.
But people say it like your music's trash. I don't understand it. Blah 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 blah. It's almost the same thing in my world with dealing with young guys that are in the streets. You got the old heads that are just removed themselves, and there's nobody guiding these young people, so they're just in the streets acting crazy. And so that's how the conversation came about. It's like, how do we blend that crowd together so that way people are like, oh, that's D Sykes. He's really a cool dude, and he's got some connections.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I need to. You know what? You was right. I don't know how to speak on camera. Can you hook me up with somebody? Because I'm trying to make myself more marketable in that way.
You know something about that? Wow, man. I'm glad you guys invited me here. I appreciate it, man, because I think this is a great conversation that we're having. Because I don't think you know how I got involved with We Got Next. I was so detached. I didn't know who David Duke was. I didn't know none of these kids, like these guys. I didn't know. I heard of them. Yeah. I didn't know these dudes, man. I didn't know any of these dudes. And Corey had to do was when he did that high school concept 2 years ago, and he put Sykes 33 on all of the kids' shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that point, I was like, yo, man. I was touched by that. So I was more like, yo, Corey, what's that for, man? He's like, nah, man, you're a former All-American, man. You're this and that. And nobody knows you, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much expertise and knowledge you can pass on to these kids. I didn't want to be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I wanted to be involved in support, in terms of support, just showing up, watching the game, and leave.
Yeah.
Which got me into coaching. Never wanted to coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give a long story short. So what happened was, this is how I feel about music, or what you're saying. Like, it would almost take. I'm to be honest with you, I don't want to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
But because I had that respect for Corey as my little bro, and him doing that's what got me to be involved. But someone like you, it would take somebody else to organize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would come in, and you got whatever you need me for.
Yeah.
I'm just not the person that's great at organizing it, because I don't know all these kids, and I know, like, I don't mesh well with a lot of personalities. So, and that's the reason. One of the reasons I never wanted to coach. I just don't. You know what I mean? And I don't want to waste nobody's time. I don't want to waste, no.
It's funny because you love basketball. Like, I see you stick around their games. Like, yo, I want to watch him. He's nice.
Yeah, I do. And it's, but it, I think what happened is that I stick to with the music, right? I hear so many horror stories about how these kids are hard-headed, and I don't know if I could have enough impact on them where I can walk in and they say, like, and then even with someone breaking down my credentials, doesn't mean anything, because people want to know, like, all right, well, did you ever get on to where you had a hit record out, so something where
so I can respect you.
Yeah.
But no, I did not do that. But what I did do was, like, I had posted something on Facebook a long time ago, and it said, the goal isn't to live forever, but to leave something that will, which means legacy.
Yeah.
So the legacy I've left so far is I'm still the only person to ever make All-American at my high school. That's one. And the second is the dropping smooth lyrics. It became a collector's item. And that's I can show. I got facts.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
thank
That's
you.
dope.
I appreciate it.
Very
I just found this out though. Collector's item means that.
Is that breaking news? You just broke news on that?
I think this is the first time I actually said something about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's up, man?
Yeah,
No one. We had a bomb.
For real.
Nah, so
Come on, Alex.
So
Yeah, relax.
Nah, so to explain to you more, what I'm talking about in terms of it being a collector's item is that record collectors, it's a highly sought after record, which means that if there was a whole bunch of them, it wouldn't be a collector's item.
True.
But because it's so limited, and I've been getting the emails for years overseas, and I just been ignoring it. So what ended up happening was end of 2017, some people reached out to me through social media, and I was curving them for a while. Then somebody that I respected always takes that, give me a phone call. Yo, dude, them people, man, they want to talk to you about some realness. So I get on the phone with the guy from Dope Folks Records. He wants to do a deal with me to re-release not just that single, but some unreleased songs as well. We worked out the situation. It was only for vinyl, so I still own all the digital rights to do it.
Nice.
So that went out all 2018, and the deal worked out for me because it was playing with house money. There was music that was already that done from over 20-something years ago.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, but
Dope.
the thing is, but what they never told me that I already knew was they already had someone to market the records or sell the records to already. So they wanted to do the deal, but they needed my permission. And they don't own anything. I did a licensing agreement with them. So I didn't really put that out there too much, but that was another thing when I talk about legacy, and I feel as though as long as I'm on this earth, I'm going to keep trying to do something to make sure that when I'm no longer here that, I'm not forgotten. Something that people could be proud of. Because I'm not proud of everything I've done in my life, right? But ever since I've changed my life, now I'm putting myself in a position, now to want to help others in any way that I can. But it does take somebody that I kind of respect to bring me in that way. You know what I mean? I'm not really like a person that's seeking out everyone and say, hey, you need my help? You need my help?
No.
But small things. Anyone got any type of company or whatever? I'll post anything for anyone that I know. I'll wear their T-shirts. They got a magazine. I'll hold the magazine up. I have no problem with that. No problem, because to a certain extent, I am an influencer. So, and because I have a lot of other things going on, I kind of feel as though like that's kind of like my duty. And I don't get into this thing of support black businesses. What I get into is, let me go support the black business. I don't want to just tell, hey, y'all go there. I'll say, no, I'm over here. Restaurant, T-shirt companies, events, anything that we're doing, I'm going to support it. And then I'll post it from that place. I never just want to direct traffic. So I ain't going to tell nobody to go to a restaurant. I didn't eat it yet. Right. I don't know the food taste. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I do it. And then I'll put hashtag support your folks. Not necessarily saying like, we can read between the lines what that means, Yeah. Support your folks, man. We got to continue to do that. Each one teach one. That's how we're going to be able to grow. And, I just believe that that's important. I don't like to be a preachy guy. I don't want to, I just want to be, let me just do my part, man,
That's a good message, man. That's a really good message.
Thank you.
What brought you there to that point? Was it just
coming from a selfish place for a long time in my life, and being a street dude for a lot of years, and let's say like the stuff that I did wasn't really like that crazy, but it's just a mentality. It's just a different mentality when you're always paranoid. You're always so you're not thinking of nobody else but yourself, because you got to look out for yourself. And I put everything in the back burner. Basketball, music, just that allure to that money for a long time. And and then when I left that life completely, and I didn't leave my friends, but I left that life, I just started thinking different, there's a lot of things, man. You're eating bad, just eating chicken wings and pizza every day. Then you get older, you can't keep eating like that. So everything changes. Your diet changes. Then, my mindset changed. I started to read more. I started to listen more. And I always just had this thing about respect. I always believe that money, respect will always outlast money. And that's the thing. I always wanted to just anyone that knows me will tell you, no matter what I do, there's always a certain amount of integrity in it. I come from, I promoted a lot of major events here. You can't find one person to say that I didn't get paid. And whenever I hire somebody for something, no one ever charges me a deposit, including the Wu-Tang Clan. D, pay us when we get there. That's the only group that I ever brought here that did that. But it just shows you how good, a person's word is. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, man, that's what, it's about integrity. So when people say, that people have said before, oh, you're going to do business with that dude, man, he's old school. Yeah, integrity. Because a lot of you guys today just have that mentality of that fast money, undercut everyone, then get on social media and just bomb people's events and talk crazy about them, and then see them in person and dap up with them. It's crazy, man. I ain't from that, man.
That is a crazy era, man.
Yeah,
that is crazy era.
And I'm not from that. It's not even about, being tough. It's just that, again, I'm a man at the end of the day. And like, you don't know what my family situation is for you to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard transition. It's a hard adjustment. It was a hard adjustment for me to go from where I was to where I am today. And I'm still every day, like, it's like I always say that I'm a student at life, I'm one of God's children. I don't think I know everything. It's a continuous learning process of everything that goes on, and I'm always willing to listen. And the thing is too, is like I have little homies that will call me and check me. Everybody else looks at it like I'm the big homie. I got to give you you can only give advice. You can't take it.
Right.
Like you said, you don't know everything.
Don't know everything, man. I got caught up one day on a somebody kept subbing me on this is when Instagram wasn't popping like that, but Facebook was. Somebody kept subbing me, and normally I'm good at ignoring it. This time I said something got a phone call. Little homie called me up. Yo, man, take that shit down, man. I said, what? What you talking about? Take that shit down. You're not that type of person. And that's when I said, you're right, man. You know what I mean? So,
That's
Yeah,
dope.
social media brought us to a weird era, man. Everybody has a voice, so now I can say whatever I want. I'm behind the computer. What are you gonna do?
I think it cuts out the respect level.
yeah.
Like there were certain names when I was growing up. If you heard that name, I'm gonna chill out. Yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays are like,
Fuck that
fuck
name.
are you? Right? I had a young boy. He was like, yo, I don't give a. Like I was telling him, like, nah, this dude is a real thorough dude. And he reached out to me for me to reach out to you.
So, like, relax.
You're gonna end up missing.
Yeah, relax.
I'm like, he's like, he got guns, I got guns too. Like, nah. Yeah, the way you shoot the way you're shooting, the way he's shooting is totally
it's a
different.
Game. Yeah, it's a different.
Yeah, he ain't riding by your house in a car,
Yeah.
shoot up the house.
Yeah.
That's the kind of time you're on.
You got duck hunt.
Like chill. He's like, all right, bub. All right, since you said, no, not since I said. I want you to be alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's giving you a pass because he knows what you did. He's giving you a pass on it. You got that. Just don't let it happen again. Nah, I bust my gun too. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And that's probably like the mentality you're not willing to deal with. Like I'm not dealing with no ignorant shit like that.
Nah. I don't deal good with disrespect at all.
Yeah.
I'd rather just stay away, you know, if I'm being warned, you know, a lot. But I mean, if we can get back into the conversation about pushing the music forward here in with the little industry, I just say like that's what I thought. I think that it takes the right person to come in and get the right people to come in, and I don't think you can do it in just one setting.
Nah.
Yeah, it's gonna take something, and I mean, like, yo, you know, when they say there's strength in numbers, right? I think people understand that, and they think that it's so cliche said, and people don't really understand it, but it truly is.
No.
It truly is, and I just think that sometimes it's about. I think a lot of people just don't have the proper information.
I think I would agree. To add to that, I would say it's like that crabs in the bucket mentality. It's like, if I'm not gonna make it, why do I want to see you make it?
Right, but I'm also saying this too, right? The okay, I don't think I should say this person's name. So I had an entertainment lawyer. I was going through something with with Rockefeller Def Jam. I had an entertainment lawyer, and at the time, her and I were so cool. She was talking to me about other stuff. So this artist didn't expect to make it. Put out a record. It went through the roof. Couldn't do anything else because now he had to go back to do all of his paperwork, publishing, his songwriters agreements, and you know, and you talk about publishing. We're talking about you ask the average artist to say like, so if you put out a record and you put it on YouTube, I'm on YouTube and any streaming service or out for sale. You ask them, how you getting paid? No one knows. They don't understand synchronization rights. They don't understand licensing. They don't understand publishing of how it works. And that's how I made a lot of money, through people's ignorance, people not knowing. So I had to come clean up this mess, which is the same way what this attorney had to do. She had to clean up all this guy's mess. He missed out on millions of dollars because he couldn't do anything. Now, meaning like when you say songwriters agreement, right? Let's break down publishing. Publishing, you take 100% of a pie. 50 is owned by the author, which is the person that wrote it. And the other 50 is owned by the composer, which is the person that produced it. Now, with the author's side of the person that wrote it, doesn't mean that has to be the person that performed it. Now you come into performance royalties. And let's say if I wrote the song, but Bub came up with the hook, I may have to say, all right, Bub, I'm going to give you 15% of the song because you came up with the hook. Now I own 35% of it. You know what I'm saying? And all of these things
break down.
All these splits have to be done. People don't understand the point structure of how it is on an album and stuff like that.
I definitely don't.
Well, see what happens. Say Chris Rock had said something a long time ago. He said, can Cadillac make a car that runs for 10 years and promote it as such? Of course they could. But if they did that, they can't sell a car next year. That's how it goes with consulting. If I sat down with you for 2 hours and gave you all of the game, I'd rather give it to you a little at a time. So you can keep coming back and you're going to keep needing more and keep needing more.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. And so what happens is that, a lot of these artists don't want to deal with the headache. They go get a manager. Now you got to figure out the difference between a manager and a damager.
Is the manager including you in that process? Probably not.
Probably not. And also with this too is that what a damager does is a person that just has a cell phone and a few connections, and now you messed around and get a deal. Now you sit in front of a label, and now the manager's doing all the talking, and the people sitting back like this, like, this dude or this girl don't know the ass from their elbow, and you brought this person in with you, and you think this is acceptable. I don't think I want to do business with you. Mm. I'm not, because we're talking like millions of dollars that's going to be put into your budget. I don't know if I want someone that don't know what they're doing to be the gatekeeper around that money, to be the liaison between the artist and the label. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always try to do, is to get people straight. Like, nah, here's what you need to do. Here's how you do this. Here's how you get in touch with the Library of Congress to get all your paperwork right. People start to hear the paperwork, they start thinking like, damn, it kills my creativity now. And that's why people need a team. You can't do it by yourself. You need a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a team. It's too much stuff to do to have a successful artist. It's easy to get an artist, but it's not easy to get a successful artist. Most artists aren't successful. And you think of it like, imagine if you mess around and get a number one record. You got to do it again. Yep. So that takes me to this, right? We talk about there's a thing where people, you go through these same doors. So I a few years ago, I was doing a project with Khaled, DJ Khaled. I was at a radio station with him. In between the breaks of Khaled talking, he's moving the mic, he's texting, calling. He knows who's on the radio in Texas right now at this time. Yo, I need you today, man. I need you to play that. I got to do it. I watched him do it. I watched Khaled do it. And you know what? He does that every time he drops a new record. So that means you got to go through these same doors. So if you are the type of person to burn bridges, the industry's not made for you.
You fucked.
Yes, it's done for you. And I mean, I've been in the room with a lot of people. What I don't do is I said this on another podcast, like, because I'm from Southside, it's just like certain things that we just don't do. Like, I wasn't groomed to name drop like that, but because I just never did. I mean, I know a lot of people, a lot of people know me, but for me, I look at it like, like, when you know all the things that I do, it makes sense. Now it's just, oh, okay. It's not like I call people on the phone, with the exception of probably one person, but that everybody knows. But other than that, it's like all these people, we've done some business with them. Like I said, I started from promoting, and now I have a TV show coming out really soon, actually, and you'll see a lot of these artists. When's this episode dropping?
Tomorrow.
Oh man.
Too soon?
Yeah,
I gotta
too
wait.
soon.
I gotta wait.
Whoa, you guys are right. Okay. Yo, man, shout out to the homies then. Yo.
Yeah.
I know some people take them a minute.
Nah, this is tomorrow. We don't edit.
Mañana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless I have to go in there and edit something that I hear, I would talk to them first and be like, yo, did you hear that?
Man.
And then, but it's usually the next day.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong coming back.
Huh?
Ain't nothing wrong with coming back.
Nah, no doubt. I mean, I could tell you. Can I talk about the show? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I have
I have a couple questions for you. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a show. It's called World Premiere TV, and I'll give you the origins of it. My introduction to video production was 2004, and the first thing that I did was.
You are a man of many talents.
I appreciate it.
Many talents.
Yeah, I mean, you find something. You get it. You know what? I did a lot of things, but I never developed passion for anything but this.
Well, I mean, you're an All-American. That had to be dedication and passion in that. You don't just become an All-American.
Or natural skill set.
Some
people got natural
debatable.
ability, man.
We can debate that. We're not right now.
Alex is about to show you a natural skill set in May.
In May.
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, I mean,
June.
the All-American thing, for me, to be honest, I do basketball training. I want to train someone to be an All-American. That's my ultimate goal. And I would love for it to happen to someone at my high school. I mean, who wants to be the only person to do something at their school? Like, last year, we had a ceremony for the raising the banner. They brought back all the All-Staters from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They brought all of us back.
Wow.
And a lot of us, a majority of us was living. And I was the only person to make All-American. And it was like, it dawned on me then.
But that gotta feel good, though.
Yeah, I mean, it
the
felt,
only one?
it felt good, but I don't want to be the only one. And
I got honorable mention in there, right? There's some honorable mentions.
None. Not that I know of. I'm the only one that officially made. I made honorable mention as well, but that I didn't get anything for that.
Yeah.
I'm the guy like, yo,
Just mention me.
you see that? I'm the
Damn,
only
Alex
one.
wants to be the only one.
one.
Alex wants to be one.
He likes that.
Alex wants to be A1.
That's me.
That's me.
No, so-
I don't even care about this game
Yeah,
I'm watching.
yeah,
That's me right
see
there.
that?
Yeah.
Nah, so
Alex.
what happened is when I picked up the camera, because I had all these connections, it was during the DVD era when Smack, French Montana had the Cocaine City, Drugs on Music, All Access, and there was another one that was on the come up. Those are like the top DVDs. I put out a DVD called World Premiere DVD. Thankfully, at this time, it got bootlegged. And at the time, they were saying they only bootleg what was hot. They plug. So they bootlegged my first project, which ended up on a desk. So I ended up. They called me in for a meeting. I went to New York. Me and one of my friends, we went. I think it was at Amy Roof's. So we sat down, ate some food, and then we worked out the situation. And I did a 50-50 licensing profit sharing agreement, which meant that I owned the name, I owned the footage, I owned the likeness, I owned the image. They put up all the money, they recouped, then we split 50-50. And that was through a company in LA. Ultimately, what happened was I also got some money up front, and they gave me 5,000 DVDs up front before the DVD came out. Oh, excuse me. So ultimately what happened was Little C's was signed, and I think he put some unauthorized footage of Little Kim on there, and Little Kim ended up suing the company. Mm-hmm. So I think the company folded from there. So I was stuck with a lot of footage, and then I never stopped getting footage. And then I came up with a concept when I seen how the .coms was going in that direction. I decided to come out with world premiere TV. I was in the process of doing direct to consumer through the internet, and somebody reached out to me and said to let Revolt get Puffy's network to get a look at it. They took a look at it, and they didn't really jump on it. So now I'm back to square one. Now I'm getting ready to release it. So by the time this will be up tomorrow, but I plan on releasing the first episode direct to consumer through the internet next month, and I can let you guys know on what platform it's going to be. And the show just has a lot of the mainstream artists that I've interviewed, and I've interviewed so many people. I gotta find the list of the people that's on it.
I mean, I think
Let's see the one.
talking about that, I mean, obviously I'm thinking for myself and where I'm at, not the mindset of the young men right now, or like just the knowledge you have. I almost see that as a lecture, right? Like just all the knowledge of, like, I didn't know all those the songwriting stuff, the composing stuff, the author stuff. Like I didn't know. Nobody's ever broken that. Not that I needed to know that either, but I'm thinking as an artist, somebody coming up now, and maybe it is just too easy, but to put out music. But if I'm thinking about being successful, like next level in creating this legacy, I would want to know all of that information.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm a fan of Cam.
Yeah.
Let's say Cam had a record. Let's say Cam made the record that J-Rock made. When, and he put it on the internet. Now ESPN wanted to use that for the March Madness.
Mhm.
What do you think, Cam? What do you think Cam's next step would be?
Come on, Bub.
I mean, I don't know what his next.
Well,
step would
we could take that around the table then.
I think Cam would
I'm
sign with
definitely-
ESPN.
He's definitely letting them do it. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know.
Because I'm going to try to look at it from his. Yeah, that's promo for me. Now you know who I am.
If talking to Cam, I don't know if he would.
Okay, well let's not say Cam then. Let's say someone
Hypothetical, it's
someone
you.
else. Hypothetical. Any other rapper that you
Yeah.
J Deuce.
Yeah, ESPN. What's up?
Okay, so let me tell you how it really works. ESPN likes the record. They're gonna come to him and say, "Who owns the rights to this?" And if he says, "I own the rights to it," they say, "Fax us over the paperwork.
Mm.
We want to see, that you own the rights to it." Let's say he does have the paperwork correct.
Mhm.
Fax it over. Okay. Well, here's what we want to do. We want to license 20 seconds. We want to use it for this, for that, and because he's not on a major label or anything, here's what we'll propose. The check's usually $3,500, $4,000. Still, but it's publishing.
Yeah.
But he has to have all his paperwork right. This is the reason I tell everybody that you never know, especially when you're putting music out. You got to protect it. And let's say if he doesn't own the rights to it, well, I'm gonna work on it. They're off to the next because they got March Madness is around the corner. They want a hot record that has something to do with that. What Khaled killed them with. All I do is win, no
Yes.
matter what. He killed them with that.
Here in all the stadiums.
Same thing if McDonald's, all these corporate companies and stuff
So
like
say if
that.
he did, so if everything went well, they cut him the check for $3,500. He ain't getting all the money after that.
No, that's a licensing for 20 seconds.
So they get to spend that wherever, however, for how many years they want to.
No, it'll only be for that project.
Oh, okay. All right.
When you do a licensing situation, it has to be in writing, and they have to specify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want to use it for our whole campaign for March Madness, which is going to run from March 1st until March 31st.
Oh, so given that breakdown, I think Cam would do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying too is that it's more of being prepared for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like being prepared for it. And I mean, like, there's a lot of the information and knowledge that I have. A lot of people aren't going to give it away for free because they look at it like I've flown to all these places and it cost me a lot of money to get the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to give it away, and
In this book right here.
uh,
$14.99.
nah. If it was something that I knew that I believed in, because I really do want to see an artist from Rhode Island get on, because we really only in our generation we only had Blue Cantrell. I had a hit record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then one could say Jeffrey Osborne and
Shout out to Unc.
Yep. But I mean, why no one else, man? Like, there's a lot of talent. Is it?
Do you think that it's just because it's Rhode Island and
No, I don't. I never bought into that. I mean,
like if you're living in another state, like a big like Cali, and you hear Rhode Island, what the fuck? Who lives in Rhode Island? You don't think that that's a mindset that people would have?
I mean, is there anything that says that you have to reveal where you're from
No,
to
there
make
isn't.
a record?
There isn't.
So if somebody thought that Rhode Island would be my handicap, why would you reveal that? Let the music speak for itself. I just think a lot of people don't have the knowledge and they don't have the grind. And I think that you got to be really built for this. Like, so many people wear their heart on their sleeve, and that's the one thing. The thing that's before I used to tell this to women, now I got to say it to guys because of how the game has changed. I said that you should always be willing to do anything that's morally correct to get ahead. You should always. It's something I learned from Dame Dash too. When Dame said, "You got to be annoying for your career." Like, you have to be.
Yeah.
You got to be like. People are too sensitive. like, are the days of the people that's willing to sleep on a park bench for a deal, are those days gone?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
They are. People that waited for, what Boys II Men waited for days to sing for New Edition, those days are gone. So what else? So what we gonna do now? So now you can do it from your house.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. My whole thing is just that, like, we're all, this whole room, a bunch of intellectual men in this room, right? And I think this way. I like to give people credit for saying that I want to tell people that they're smart, first anyway. So I feel this way, right? None of us would go online, find a job, send our resume, cover letter, make sure it's sweet. Next day, get the call. Hey, want to bring you in for an interview. We sit the interview, ace the interview, and then work 2 weeks, love our coworkers, then ask one of our coworkers and say, yo, do you know when we get paid? Do you know how much we get paid? So my thing is, why would you want to get in the music industry and put out a record and you have no idea how to get paid?
It's a good one.
Like, zero idea how to get paid. Zero. So then you got to go pay someone to give you the knowledge to figure out how to get paid from the industry. It's
What
crazy.
money you don't got?
It's nuts to me, man. So I've always said that, like, yo, people don't think with logic, man. Like, yo, you got to learn the business, and I get it. There's 100% of the business. There's the music business. The music is 10%. The business is 90%. And what I do get from the artists look at it like, if I had to learn this business, the 90% of it, creatively, I won't be able to make the music that's going to make any sense anyway. That's why you have to have a team.
But it's also like, I look at, like a hustling mentality and spirit. Like, I believe in that.
Yes.
And so you see a lot of rappers or artists try to transform from the streets, right, and call themselves hustlers, and not be able to make it in a legitimate world because they don't really have that hustler spirit or mentality. Right, so it's like, it's easy to sell a product that sells itself. So when you got to sell a product that's not selling itself, which is you to a certain extent, like, not everybody's willing to buy into you. What are you willing to do? And some people fail in that aspect.
That's true.
Like, I've seen guys.
That's true.
I think there's two, right? I hustled in the streets, but now I can't even sell myself to get a job. And so what? I'm just going to quit. I'm going to give up. Nobody wants to hire me.
No, you should never got those face tattoos.
But not even that. You probably have no tattoos. But also, they're not willing to be annoying. This is too hard. I'm not going to keep knocking on your door and asking you if you want to hire me. That's begging. No, you're trying to be successful.
So how does D-Smooth move in this culture today? If you are a rapper today, how are you moving?
Whoa. Well, for me,
Sykes got beef.
nah. I would have to. The same advice that I would give, I would have to live by it, which is, I would have to get me a team, and always never be afraid to find someone smarter than me. They always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you may be in the wrong room. Oh. But you can't do this without a team, man.
Say that again, because that was dope. People need to hear that.
Oh, well, they always said, I've always been told that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. So I believe in having someone smarter than me, someone that I could listen to. And I think one of the most important things is that when you do have a team, right? Like, you have to actually listen to people's ideas. Because sometimes people say some nut shit. But there's that one time, and if you gotta listen to the nut shit to get to the good stuff.
Because keep listening.
Yeah, because at one time they may have the greatest idea ever, but if you always
shut up,
I'm going with that, man. Yeah. Then it's like, I'm going with that. And then finally one day say, well, I always thought that we should have. Damn, why'd you say something? So you always have to. You got to be open and receptive to ideas. And when I'm just saying, like, with team too, like, someone that I delegate some responsibilities to people. Like, if it's almost like I always said like this, right? The perfect relationships between man and a woman is for them to offset each other. What I'm not great at, she needs to be, and vice versa. Bless you, bro. So I think that's the same thing when you have a team and you're delegating responsibilities. I may know how to do stuff, but you may be great at social media. Bub might be great with beats. Like, he's the person that's bringing me all my beats and knows that it's got that. He may not know how to produce, but he might just have a great ear. My man right here may be like the master at hooks. And then I might have another person that's just great with talking to people. I might really be an asshole. And so what happens is when you are, they say like, yo, man, I gotta be honest. I don't really like people. I don't really be trusting people like that. Can you speak for me? Then when you come to me with whatever they're talking about, and I know you didn't already like pretty much, smooth the situation out or being the buffer in a sense, now I know I can talk to them because you didn't already like seen exactly what it is they want. And I'm saying it kind of starts from there. It's just that like, I mean, you can have 2 or 3 people, but you just can't do this by yourself. I mean, you can if you have to, and that way, when I'm talking about delegate responsibilities, people want to need to know exactly what it is they need to be doing, and you can teach some people. And there's some people that like, they already automatically know what needs to be done. But the thing is with the artist should be always 100% in that creative space to be able to make the music. Music is the foundation, regardless if that's 10% of the game. There's no conversation without the music.
Word.
Jason, never stop the music.
No, stop the music. Come on, man. Keep the music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I would do. And then, like, to me, like, I look at myself as like a branding guru, to be honest. Like, sometimes we got to speak these things into existence. What they say, the law of attraction, your thoughts become things. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I feel. And I feel like what I would do is what I do with everything. I put everything on a T-shirt. World premiere TV is not even out yet. I didn't already.
You hear that, Bub? Put it on a T-shirt.
Saturday?
You put a T-shirt.
Saturday?
Everything has to be on a T-shirt, man. Everything.
Word.
And then the summertime, wintertime, whatever time, hoodies. Even if you get just the amount, because those things speak when you don't. Because
dad hats.
Whatever it is, whatever the type of promotional material that you can have, you have, right? And I always say, like, and Bub played on my basketball team over the summer. That's when I started the whole world premiere just for the 40 plus with the summer. I wanted to get the shirts out there a little more. I'm already deep with that. I got the girl stuff, sweatsuits. I got all that stuff. That's all my POP, my point of promotion stuff. I've been started that. And that's the main thing too is, like you have to have some type of budget anyway, but you're going to spend money. Why not spend it in effective areas?
The whole it takes money to spend money to take more. What's that saying?
It takes money to make money.
That whatever.
But I'm saying you don't have to spend a lot of money, man. Like, you guys can go get. I know places you can get 20 T-shirts for $99. I'm talking about anybody. So if someone got a team, y'all put in $33 a piece. Y'all good money. Y'all got 20 shirts.
Yo, Bob, I got $33 on me right now.
And y'all can sell those shirts for $20 a piece. Then go back and re-up again. Then go back and re-up again. Then go back and re-up again.
What are you waiting for?
So
I got 33 right now.
So the reason that I say this, right, it ain't about you actually wearing a T-shirt in the mall. It's about you wearing a T-shirt on social media. Mm-hmm. And you don't really have to even say what you're doing. You got your shirt on, and you could be, doing whatever you're doing, but people see the shirt, they be like, oh, okay. And I understand that, when I remember Memphis Bleak was talking about Rockefeller, like how Rockefeller was a pebble at one point, right? Everything has to grow into something. And a movement ain't a movement until someone's following.
Right. Yep.
Somebody has to be following for it to be a movement, right? It can't just, but you got to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have a merchandising company or a clothing line. However it is you want to do it. I'm just saying right there. I got the plug. You want the 20 T-shirts for $99? You know what I'm saying?
I already know you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, that's silk screen too. That ain't the other stuff that people do. That's the silk screen. So
new stuff.
I'm just saying, man. It's just like what I'm,
Let's get these shirts,
But-
Bob.
But bottom line of what I would do, I would build a team.
You want to plug them?
Who? Nah, I ain't plugging them folks.
No. We can get the plug, bro. After we turn this off, we'll get the plug.
I'll put y'all on tour. Let y'all go
Cool,
rock out
alright,
like
cool.
that. But I'm saying, like, again, if I was doing music, man, that's what I would do. I would surround it with a team. Everybody would be uniformed. Would be wearing, and forget the name of who cares about the name of the label? The artist. The artist needs to be on the T-shirt. Whatever it is that for me, everybody be wearing D Smooth T-shirts. Yeah. Who cares about the label? Who cares about that? No one cares about that. And that's the thing. People, for so many years, care about titles and badges and all that stuff. Yo, man, where's the artist, man? I know a lot of people out here that have had labels, and you never, ever see T-shirts, hoodies, jackets with the label. Well, where's the artist, man?
Yeah. That's great points, man.
Yeah.
Great point. Way too much knowledge.
Well, that was
man.
a lot of knowledge. Well,
I mean,
So I'm about to get a team. I'm about to put out some music.
I said you guys want
These new guys, I could put out some.
Well, have a
let's go,
conversation.
Bob.
What's up?
You got
that's what this is
T-shirts?
about.
You got I got the T-shirts ready. I'm on Broad Street on Saturday.
So I guess to go more into my the World Premiere TV, what the show's about. The slogan of the show is hip hop is one nation, not a nation divided. And I came up with that slogan because I'm going to be doing and interviewing artists, and artists be having live performances and freestyles from every era. Melting pot of hip hop. If it's not gonna be used as a tool to educate, but if you do find yourself being educated, then great. But it's not for that. And it's gonna be like, it'll be an episode where you'll see Keith Murray, Jeezy, and Lil Uzi Vert. You won't miss a beat though. You know what I'm saying? You won't miss a beat. It won't be like, because we got to get back to this, right? Everyone has a story. How interesting is your story? Mm-hmm. Capadonna still has a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Young Dolph has a story.
Yeah,
Lady of Rage has a story. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, like, I just want to put all these artists together. So on there you'll see a model. We're gonna select an Instagram model each episode. A lot of these girls I'm cool with, but I want to go with ones that act more than just a pretty face. Like, so we get in this whole thing of no talent's the new talent, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I want to give these girls an opportunity to say, like, here's what I was doing previous to me having these 300,000 followers that now I'm getting bookings and stuff for. Here's how I did it. Here's what I'm doing now with that. And I'm not stripping. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing. I just think that we all want to look at, everybody's into that thing, though. No talent to new talent. And laughing at it. Like, if someone can create something to generate revenue, why is that funny?
That's genius.
Exactly. Like, I'm talking like, because so many people are conditioned to work 9 to 5. Like, the entrepreneurs shouldn't laugh at the 9 to 5ers, and the 9 to 5ers shouldn't laugh at the entrepreneurs.
Right.
Agree.
Some people just don't have, like, the hustler spirit. Yeah. Because as an entrepreneur, you're creating your own check. When you're working for somebody else, you show up. Yep. Especially white folks. White folks will pay you.
Yep. But I think they can learn from each other, right? The 9 to 5, and I'm not saying that entrepreneurs don't have it, but the 9 to 5 has a discipline, right?
Yes.
I have a 40-hour work week that I'm dedicated to. The entrepreneur can be a lazy one and still make some money, but if they learn from the 9 to 5, or like, no, create a disciplined structure around your entrepreneurship, and then I need to learn from you how you got there, because I want to get out of this job.
The TV show is going to be on a .com platform, and that's what I want to do. I want to offer my platform to a lot of these artists. I remember, again, I had did another podcast last year, and when I did that podcast, they had asked me who was my top 5 artists, and I think they thought I couldn't answer the question. I was able to answer the question. I didn't want to because I didn't want to have a top 5. I just wanted to speak on some guys that I liked. And, you know, I mentioned Cam. I mentioned Rico Rich. I mentioned Rot and Jay Deuce. I think they threw Jay Deuce out there. But my whole thing is that I still don't know all of these guys. But what I will be willing to do is, for the guys that are out there really hustling, I would let them, I'd have no problem with offering my platform to them. I'm just not trying to create a buzz for nobody. You got to really be out there hustling and doing what you're doing.
Create your own buzz.
Yeah, you create your, you create your own buzz. I don't want to say you create your own buzz, I'll find you, but some people are still a little lost with certain things. And I'm just saying, at the end of the day, the same thing I talked about with the basketball. I would love if somebody early came through my platform and ended up getting on or had a hit record and it started from, okay, you go ahead, though.
You were saying you were somebody from our hood had a hit record.
I would love for somebody to come through my platform and you know, from here, from Rhode Island, you know, come and hit record. I'm from New England, but I live here. You know, and I say there's a lot of guys like from Hawk, all these other guys have been rapping for a long time. And that's another guy that I wish that you guys could get him up here. You got the relationship with him, Hawk? Buddha?
Yeah, I know Buddha. Yeah,
Buddha's story is real, man. Like I don't want to tell his story for him. His story's real. Now you talk about someone that's did records with Neo from Providence,
Scott Storch and all.
Scott Storch with all these people right here. That he's someone that you can let that go. Huh? 2 more minutes left. I was gonna let it run out. Oh, okay. So it can't be. Huh? It can't be. The card, not the battery. Oh, let it go. You can stop it. I'm only taking a snippet from that. My bad. Like I would love for you guys to get him up here, because he's never told his story before. And we're talking.
Bub.
Yeah,
I mean,
yo, Bub got
Bub got crazy connections, dog. Like,
you know what it is? You know what it is, man?
Crazy.
For like, and I'm not saying this just to whatever, but I don't just do anything. I just don't. I have other things to do, and I do a lot. It was probably less than a minute conversation that we had on the sideline. Yo, doing a podcast, man. See you come through. Just had Cam on there. You like, you know, for you do it. Yeah, I'll do it. That was it.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
And then I asked him again. I said, yo, you still doing the podcast? Oh, yeah, we took a couple of weeks off, but whatever. Can you come this Wednesday? Nah, but I can come next Wednesday.
I was like, because when the first time I asked you, we was doing it at 6 o'clock. I'm like, damn, with the new time change, it's midnight. You want to ask Sykes, and that's why I asked you the second time. I said, so yeah, it's around 9.
Nah, we appreciate it.
Absolutely,
I thought
man.
Sykes would be like, man, 9 o'clock.
Nah, it's just one of these things that, you know, in certain people that you respect, you just, that's what I said, you know, I don't think there's the person that Bub couldn't ask. Like when I said, and normally I would be like, okay, what's the name of it and where's it at? Or doing like, because he asked me like, yo, I got you, bro. Yeah. And to me, it doesn't matter. Like if my television show took off, that's one thing that I will be, faster than I want it to. There's one thing I will tell my team, manager or whomever I hire, anyone that wants to do an interview, the answer is yes. I don't care how many followers or how many people it goes out to, because I always believe in the underdog. I always, like, we can't sit here and be saying these things and you know, we actually have to take action, you know? Everyone talks. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is really that. Like, yo, man, you never know, man. Like, this could be on Revolt. This could be on, you know, YouTube getting 1 million views. You guys be getting paper from it. And it's definitely a dope platform because it really is a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't ever want. I wonder why I'm always nervous before we do these podcasts, man. This guy's great.
don't know why you are.
Like,
I don't know.
No, we
I don't know.
Nervous at all.
It's episode 34. Huh?
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah, introduce the podcast.
Shake it
Oh
off.
shit! Did we introduce the podcast? We didn't even introduce the podcast.
I tell you this though, the intro, that beat is crazy.
Yeah,
Shout
Skino
out to
came
Skino.
through.
Oh,
man.
I was like-
shout out to the hard stop, man. That's just dope. That's just dope.
Nah.
Yo, episode 34, Growing Pains podcast.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
People
Yo,
out there, man, make sure.
Now we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming
No doubt.
through. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Alex says, you're great, man. You have so much gems to share. You know what I mean? Like,
Appreciate it.
we really appreciate you coming through, and we would love to have you back. You know what I'm saying? When
Everything's
to
going.
plug your definitely to plug the TV show. You know what I mean? We have a good following. You know what I mean? Alex tries to front like we ain't got a good following.
I mean, in any way that I can help, with this, whatever, especially when my .com come out, if y'all want to, put the
Absolutely.
each podcast on there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I mean, that's something that we can discuss. I have no, like I say, man, it's got to be something like, when you say strength in numbers, somebody got to take that lead.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out. I do want to shout out Chip Douglas though for something. Me and Chip had such a serious conversation one day in Expressions. Chip Douglas is another person that knows everyone, and that's why we were talking about doing the networking party. And I want to shout at him because I think something to him I should revisit. I got the perfect venue for it, and I would love to push this music forward. But I would put more of it on Chip, and I would support his moves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be the one to put it all together. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm going to do that. Chip just got the plug with all the artists. He knows all the artists, Yeah. He knows everyone that does stuff, and he's always doing favors. They're doing favors for him. Everyone, seems to love his brand. And I know all around he's a good dude. And, and just things, too. With this podcast, you guys need to be there with other podcasts. Everyone is doing I was saying one person from everything should be represented, at least.
Yeah.
If we can get more, it will be
Yeah.
better. And all it is just a networking party. Hey, what do you do?
That's
Oh, I
actually
do-
kind
I
of a
got-
dope idea.
Yeah, I got a podcast. Oh, you got a card? Yeah, I have a card. Like, no, I don't want your number. I want a card. Like,
Yeah.
like, a card at least shows that you're serious, that you're invested in yourself.
Yeah.
It would be doper if everybody wore
Their
all
apparel,
their apparel. Like the guys from I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rebel Life.
Mm-mm.
Good brothers, man.
And that's why, people, it's a cliche term, like Rhode Island is small, Providence is small, but it's bigger than what we think.
Yes, it is.
It's way bigger than what we think. We're so isolated by our own circles, and most people in our circle are connected to people on the outside, which makes us feel like it's small. But you just mentioned them. We don't you don't know everybody.
So let me tell you what they've been doing. I think now for the past year, I think they've been doing showcase. They're doing like one or two a month. They're giving they've been doing it lately at Studio Lounge. They get all these probably like 10 artists perform, and if they been doing it for a year, it must be a success for them monetarily, and especially must be helping the artists. A lot of artists don't have a place to perform, and it gives you a good opportunity to perfect your craft, or you come up with a record and you say, you know what, I ain't gonna do the next showcase, I'm gonna do the following one. Anything's like an exercise. When Jay said like rapping is an exercise, same thing with basketball. Like you keep shooting, it's repetition. You keep performing, you're gonna get better. You're gonna and that's the thing. Ultimately, when you become more than just an artist and you become an entertainer, you're there.
Yeah.
Once you can entertain people and keep people's interest that way, and that's
Chris Brown don't even got to sing no more.
nah.
Show up.
And dance.
Yeah, can show up.
Say 3 words.
So-
The crowd will sing the rest.
Nah. It's something I've called something the Hove effect. Right? And let me I'm gonna say this in closing. I don't know how much longer I got, but I'm gonna say something real quick. So back in 2004, 2005, I'm in the Bronx. I'm sitting in a Dodge Magnum on the passenger side, and I'm listening to some music sitting in front of the building in the Bronx. My man's playing his music for me. T, what you think? I'm not hearing it. I'm just like, it's cool. He gets a call. All right, we got to go downtown. Plays another CD. All him. Now I'm starting to get sick of it. I don't like nobody playing me a lot of records anyway. I feel like they're kidnapping me. So now he's telling me Irv Gotti's interested. This is when Murder, I don't know if Murder Inc. was still on fire at this time or if they was going through their trial thing. I'm not sure. Told me Irv was interested in some of the stuff. All right, cool. Now he comes, he's from New York. He comes to Providence. I take him to Expressions. Then I take him down to Thayer Street. People were recognizing him. So he's like taking pictures of people. Oh, I like this place. What's it called, D? It's Thayer Street, man. Then I take him to a couple of breakfast spots. A few people see me with him. So then he's still trying to convince me to manage him and be a part of his team. I'm not hearing it. So now, this is the craziest part about it. One day he calls me and tells me, he says, D, I'm gonna be the hottest nigga in New York. So I hear you, man. That artist, who that artist is today, is French Montana. French turns around, 2013, does his first show at the Strand, calls me up, staying at the Marriott. And God bless his soul, he was in there with Chinks. Everyone, I met all the Coke boys were sitting there for the first time, and so we're laughing. He said, D, come back at around 11 o'clock. We're going to mob to the show together. All right, cool. So I get in the van, meet him at the hotel. We get in the van, we go. They make I knew his manager too, Errol, was his movement. I knew E from French from before. We open they open the back door to Strand. So we all walk up in there. So then one of the guys get his whole set and, on the monitor, tapes it to the monitor. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to look to see what these songs are. I don't know none of these niggas' songs. This is my man, though. This is like little bro. Like, this is real talk. It's little bro. So I'm sitting there. As soon as the people, they throwing his intro music, as soon as the people see his face, now I'm still thinking, like, loopholes are sold out. I'm looking around, I'm like, and French had something I call a Hove effect. Is when you can put the mic out and everybody sing all your songs. Mm-hmm. I didn't know none of these songs. So I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, damn. I'm like, French is really that nigga. So now, when he did a couple of records that I did know, by the time he gets off the stage and we walk and they're heading back to the hotel and everything, he's just like, yo, D, what you think? What you think? I said, yo, man, you that nigga, man. Like, but from that day on, it made me say, I will never doubt anybody ever again. So when I hear Fat Joe say, I could have signed Eminem, he didn't hear what we hear today is not what he heard then. When people that said they had the opportunity to sign Ludacris, all these artists that people had the opportunity to sign, there's something, I forgot who it was, somebody said they had the opportunity to sign Drake. I think Jermaine Dupri or someone. T.I.
Yep, yeah, it was T.I.
They didn't, now I understand when people say you didn't hear it. So, for me to actually be able, the reason I'm telling you guys that story is that I'll never doubt anybody again. But one thing I knew with him, he was relentless. Because what he did was he watched 50 Cent do it the mixtape way. He said, I'm not doing it that way. He did it by putting out his own DVD, featuring his own videos, featuring his own music on his DVDs. That was how he really created his buzz. So I never really liked none of them records. But I was kind of more or less like, yo, I supported his effort, the effort of what he was doing. Now I'm into his music more. I still don't like all of his songs, but it's still my man. Mm-hmm. And I can have that conversation with him like that. Like, yo, he don't ask me no more. He don't care. He don't care about, what I think now. Yeah. But you know what it is, though, at the end of the day, man, I just, that was the thing that, again, he's my friend. So it's okay for me. I don't want to get into everybody else I've dealt with, whatever, but that's my actual friend. So this, like, I to a certain extent, I believe that French's success is my success. Even though I don't want nothing from him. But that's my man. And now to sit here and see him being a multi-millionaire and living out his dream, he's still, to me, dirty French from the Bronx. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still like, meaning like the mentality, like, you know, like he laughs and jokes the same. He tells a joke, laughs at his own joke. He's still the same person. When I'm around, he did not make me feel like he made me feel like, yo, this is my man before all this right here.
Yep. That's dope. You don't see that. That doesn't happen.
Solid.
And no, that was then, but I've seen him twice, you know, and kicked it with him. You know, God bless his soul. Chinks been going, but my first time I met Chinks was cool dude. Chinks was low in the cut, rap his ass off. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, yo, you know, I'm sharing that story again, hopefully for inspiration, man, for people to know that they can speak whatever they want, whatever they're trying to do in existence. But you got to be hustling at it. You got to be going at it. You can't just be, yo, you know, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, but not doing anything about it. Just like the kids that I've been working out. A couple of them said they're going to the NBA. They're going to say, no, you ain't. Then if I'm feeling that way, then why work out with them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's different. It's different. I ain't like no bitter dude because I had hoop dreams and, you know, I went as far as a junior college. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of these situations that you know, that has changed with the AAU and all the other stuff. You know, you can get on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many different things that you can do, man. But
Yo, you have a great perspective, man. We appreciate you coming here. We appreciate having you.
Definitely.
Next time we're gonna get into the shits a little bit more.
Yeah,
now that we know you.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get
you.
into it.
I'll be for it too, man. I'm with the shits, man. No, but I'm telling you guys again, man. I know you guys got connection too, but whatever way you can utilize Bub, utilize him, man, because he definitely knows everybody and he got the respect from everyone.
Appreciate
This
it.
probably
these text messages are gonna get crazy in a minute.
I would say it's probably like maybe like 20 calls he makes, he probably get curved once.
Who's curving?
That's a good. We're gonna get curved though. Everybody
Who's
gets curved.
curving you, dog?
Yeah, hunt him down.
Yo,
But I
King
wish.
of PVD.
But make sure the next time that we come here, we have some type of some type of conversation more about Hove than just the 444.
Yeah,
Oh no!
absolutely. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we talked about that.
I'm a whole fan, and I like 444.
So we talked about that
444 versus
when we had
What's
Sabrina.
Free?
Life is Everything.
When we had
That one.
no, it was free.
What's free?
What's free? I just want to have a conversation
Okay.
about.
The concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is Everything is the CD that I was just like, I don't know what is going on.
Life is everything. What's that?
Is it Love is Everything? Life is Everything?
Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so-
444 is dope.
But we did talk about me, Jay, and Sabrina wanted to have another conversation around Hove.
Yeah,
Nas.
yeah. We definitely got to have a Hove conversation.
Hove, Nas.
Next time you're on, we got to get into some shit. Because I know Alex got some shit. And then, definitely we got to get into 444.
So-
A Hove conversation.
On Love is Everything. What is it? You didn't hear?
I heard it.
You didn't hear the joint Friends? You didn't hear what he said?
I heard it.
You hear what nigga said? When I
I
say
heard all that.
oh,
Yeah,
when,
I
when,
heard
he
all
said,
that.
when I said free niggas, they free him.
Yeah.
That's how Meek got his freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Y'all put niggas on the t-shirt. Sorry, y'all didn't meet him.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope. I'm not
All right.
I'm not saying. Time out. I'm not discrediting Jay. I would never
Okay.
discredit Jay. I think Jay is the best. Like,
Okay.
Jay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So you know he just freed 21 Savage. He's a freedom fighter.
does that
so
mean
he-
that I have to like what he puts out?
No.
Because he did all this, I gotta like some whack shit that he puts out.
Uh-oh.
No. No, you don't.
I
Because
appreciate all the good shit that he's doing. I think what he's doing is fucking phenomenal. That's out of control.
yeah, JC.
But Love is Everything was fucking garbage to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I'm telling you, next time we got to get into the shit.
We'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Let's get into the
I could do a breakdown next time.
Oh man.
And
I mean, Hove got a dud album to me. I clearly said it in the barbershop. He got one album that I hate.
Which one's that?
What's the joint, Bob? With his comeback album.
No, I like
Kingdom Come.
Oh, I hate that
Kingdom
album.
Come was trash to me too. That's the red
hate
cover
it.
We
album.
revisited
Yeah.
that one though.
I like it.
Everyone told me to go back and listen to joints, and I went back and it's just collectively I don't like it. I like a few songs.
I like that because he
Collectively.
has dope songs on that
Yeah,
album.
it was all over the place. You know, it was all over
I
the
like
place.
that. Yeah.
You know what? The thing is, the reason with me with Hove is just that I always felt Hove was talking to me. Felt it was a one-on-one conversation. I didn't know if he was. I didn't know if it was music. It sounded like he's talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, what you say again? Like It sounded like then the way it's like everyone was rapping to you at one point. Hove was the guy that decided to give you a conversation and like, you know, go back to the original Dead Presidents.
Okay.
90s, 95.
Yep.
Better than a lot of lyrics that out today.
1,000% agree.
Go back to Can I Live.
Can I Live is out of control.
Go back to Can I Live Part 2 with Bleak on it.
Out of control.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
What?
Yeah.
Go. I mean, what he said? What he say? If you haven't heard, I'm Michael, Magic, and Bird, all rolled in one. None of these niggas got more flows than Young. Plus, got more flows to come. If I ain't better than Big, and I'm the closest one.
He's out of control.
Was he talking? He was like,
like it's just the visuals he puts out. Like when he did the whole Reasonable Doubt 20 years, and you know he dropped the visual on Tidal, the little documentary. Like that was just, it was like to see all the other artists that were in the room, and then when he did the book, Decoded, like just breaking down the lyrics gave you a whole different perspective. King of the Double Entendres.
King. Who?
No, we're not gonna go there.
He'll never.
Alex is right. Yo, we gotta end this podcast because
Yeah,
Alex is ready.
End this podcast.
We're gonna come back and do this again.
No,
we're gonna come
this
back
was
and do
great.
again.
This was fun. It was.
Shine is out of control right now.
Yeah.
Loose.
Yeah. Yo, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what to do.
Yes.
Comment, like, share, follow.
We out.
We out of here, man.
We out.
Grown Pains Podcast, episode 34. We out. Peace.